Singapore River. The Singapore River is located within the island's central region. The 3.2-kilometer-long waterway, from its mouth to Kim Seng Bridge, has been the lifeline of Singapore for almost 200 years. Singapore's rapid development in its early years was due largely to its strategic location and establishment as an entrepot port. The Port of Singapore traces its origins to the lower reaches of the Singapore River, where it developed and flourished for the first 40 years of the settlement's history. The river port's waterways and quays were hubs of economic activity as flotillas of boats plied its waters, loading and unloading their goods for import or re-export. The river's inadequate and unsuitable berthing facilities, coupled with the dramatic increase in shipping, led to the eventual development and growth of the new harbor later known as Keppel Harbor. Singapore River has a long history over the century. The mouth of the Singapore River saw the beginnings of an ancient fishing village called Tumasake, which was later renamed Singapura, or Lion City in Sanskrit, by Sang Nila Utama, a Palembang prince from Srivijaya, sometime in 1299. According to the Malay annals, Sang Nila Utama landed at Kuala Temasek, the estuary of the Singapore River, where he encountered a strange beast with a red body, a black head, and a white breast, which he took to be a lion. The Orang Lauk, or sea gypsies, were the earliest known inhabitants in the area around the river mouth, and they lived in sampan which served as houseboats. There were about 1,000 of them in 1819, the year Stamford Raffles founded modern Singapore. In 1811, Temenggung Abdul Rahman arrived from Riau with his followers and set up a village on the left bank of the river mouth, governing both the Orang Lauk as well as the Malays. On February 6, 1819, the Temenggung, together with Sultan Hussein Shah of Johor, signed the historic treaty with Raffles that allowed the British East India Company to establish a trading post on the island. Before the arrival of the British, the Singapore River estuary had many large rocks, among which was one shaped like the sharp snout of a swordfish. The Orang Lauk regarded this rock with reverence and made offerings to it. This estuary was also where William Farquhar, the first British resident of Singapore, and his men found many skulls which had belonged to victims of pirates. Based on the treaty between Raffles, the Sultan, and the Temenggung, all Chinese should move over to the other side of the river, forming a kampong from the side of the large bridge, conjectured to be present-day Elgin Bridge, down the river towards the mouth, and all Malays, people belonging to the Temenggung, and others should also remove to the other side of the river, forming their kampong from the side of the large bridge up the river towards the source. The Chinese kampong became present-day boat Quay. By the 1840s, the Orang Lauk had largely disappeared from the river basin. The dispersal of the sea gypsies from the river appears to have been the result of official pressure, as they had become a nuisance when river traffic increased. Fondly referred to as the river, the Singapore River spans 3.2 kilometers from the sea to its upper reaches at Kim Seng Road. Boat Quay was the first to have offices, warehouses, godowns, and jetties built along its banks in 1823. Subsequent developments continued upriver, along the banks of Clark Quay, Robertson Quay, and later even further upstream, near the upper reaches and the source of the Singapore River at Alexandra Canal, formerly a river, as demarcated by Kim Seng Bridge. The river divided Singapore into the commercial and government sectors. Before the construction of bridges, those who wished to cross the river traveled on donis, which were river-crossing sampan. The range of trading ships from around the region and other parts of the world that plied Singapore River were diverse. Lighters, also known as tongkong or bumboats, imported from southern India by the East India Company, transported goods for import and re-export to and from the warehouses at Boat Quay. Raffles moved the business sector from the East Beach, east of the freshwater stream, now the Stamford Canal, to the swampy southwest bank of the Singapore River, where the Chinese had built their houses. The Chinese were moved further inland, and a hill was leveled to form Commercial Square. Trade growth gradually extended upstream, and by the late 1890s, there were godowns, rice mills, sawmills, Chinese-owned boat yards, and an assortment of other trades along the river. In July 2002, converted bumboats began operating as river taxis carrying sightseeing passengers, like this one that we are on, with pickup and disembarkation points along both Quay and Clark Quay. Today, the Singapore River is the venue for many public events and activities, including the Singapore River Regatta, since 1983, River Nights Heritage Festival, and the Singapore River Festival, since 2008. Along the Singapore River, there are a number of bridges that spread along the river. The first bridge to be built across Singapore River was Presentment Bridge, constructed in 1822. The wooden footbridge was demolished and replaced with another wooden footbridge, Thomson's Bridge, in 1844. In 1862, Thomson's Bridge was replaced by an iron structure and named Elgin Bridge. This bridge was demolished in 1927, and the current Elgin Bridge opened to traffic in 1929. Other bridges that span the Singapore River include Coleman Bridge, built in 1840. Parliament House. The old Parliament House building at Empress Place was constructed in 1827 by G.D. Coleman as the private residence of merchant John Argyle Maxwell. However, Maxwell never moved in as the government took over the building for use as a courthouse. The building was refurbished and reopened as the Arts House, a venue for performing and visual arts, in 2004. Mare Lion. Singapore's tourism symbol, the Mare Lion, is situated at the mouth of the Singapore River. It was completed in May 1972. Commemorative plaque. This plaque marks Raffles' landing site at the mouth of the Singapore River, beside the Asian Civilizations Museum. It was officially unveiled by then acting President Yeoh Ghim Seng on February 3, 1972. A dam in Singapore built at the confluence of 5 rivers, across the Marina Channel between Marina East and Marina South. First conceptualized in 1987 by the late Lee Kuan Yew, the barrage started construction on March 22, 2005, and was officially opened on October 31, 2008 as Singapore's 15th reservoir. It provides water storage, flood control and recreation. It won a Superior Achievement Award from the American Academy of Environmental Engineers in 2009. The $3 billion project turns Marina Bay and Kelung Basin into a new downtown freshwater marina reservoir. It provides water supply, flood control, and a new lifestyle attraction. By keeping out seawater, the barrage forms Singapore's 15th reservoir and first reservoir in the city. Marina Reservoir, together with the future Punggol and Serangoon reservoirs, will increase Singapore's water catchment areas by 1/6 of Singapore's total land area. Marina Barrage also acts as a tidal barrier to keep seawater out, helping to alleviate flooding in low-lying areas of the city such as Chinatown, Jalan Besar and Geylang. When it rains heavily during low tide, the barrage's crest gates will be lowered to release excess water from the coastal reservoir into the sea. If heavy rain falls during high tide, the crest gates remain closed and giant drainage pumps are activated to pump excess water out to sea. As the water in the Marina Basin is unaffected by the tides, the water level will be kept constant, making it ideal for all kinds of recreational activities such as boating, windsurfing, kayaking and dragon boating.